Hey everybody, we're going to go through part two of the carbon cycle story. So at this point, in part one, you should have your arrows drawn showing where your carbon atom is going through the carbon cycle, through different processes to get to different objects. And down here, you're doing four transfers. So there should be four arrows up here in your picture. I only have two, but in yours, you should have four. Now, just a reminder that these words, these are action words. So your arrows are kind of an action. And so like combustion, you're taking the carbon from the gasoline and it's burning, and now that carbon is now in the atmosphere as carbon dioxide. So the process or the action is combustion. When carbon goes from the air into something like grass through the process of photosynthesis, this arrow represents that process or that action. Okay, so there should be four arrows in your picture. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to make kind of a silly or fun story about our journey through the carbon cycle. And so in Miss Chumley's example, she started off with the tractor having gasoline in it or fossil fuels, and it's burning that fossil fuel through combustion, and now it's going into the air, okay, like in our picture. Okay, and now the part that you got to be creative with is what did your carbon atom feel or what did it experience? So you got to do something fun and creative. Just try and use your imagination a little bit. If I were imagining myself as a carbon atom and I was in a gas tank and then all of a sudden I got burned up, I would probably experience some heat, probably gonna be hot. There might be some smoke. Might be kind of a terrifying experience if you were actually to get burned up. Okay, so in my story, I'm going to try and use some comedy, adventure, use my five senses, try and come up with something to make it a little bit more interesting. Okay, so I'll just share with you what I put for my first example. My journey began as a molecule of carbon in the biosphere as part of gasoline or fossil fuels. Just today, I was transferred to the air through the process of combustion. During this transfer, I was getting very hot. I started choking because of all the smoke. As I burned up, I turned into a gas, carbon dioxide, and I entered the air. Now, you could probably come up with something a little bit more creative than that, but this is just an example to kind of get you going. Okay? Now, at this point in my story, I'm in the air. So in my table here, this is where I'm at. I'm in the air. Now in my story, I am saying that the carbon dioxide through photosynthesis went into the grass. Okay, so my carbon dioxide went into the grass. So the carbon was transferred from the air to the grass by the process of photosynthesis. So in my story, I am going to explain that second transfer here and try and be as creative as possible, okay, and talk about that experience. Okay, my third transfer would be my next one, and so on. Okay, so you're just telling the story of your adventure through the carbon cycle. Okay, have fun with it, be creative with it, and turn it in by 11:59 on Tuesday.